Your property management team will be delighted to quickly achieve career goals without restrictions or distractions, and staff turnover will be a thing of the past. Like you, we're in it for the long haul and will constantly monitor our outsourcing arrangement, providing ongoing training and support to make your life easier. At the Property Management Virtual Assistant, we believe in working smarter, not harder.
Thanks for joining me. My name is Natasha Anich, and for the last 20 years or so, I've been working with businesses to craft and nurture growth-enriched relationships with their customers. As a growth lead here at Console, I have a keen interest in developing growth opportunities for your business that is only possible through delivering unique customer experiences. Whilst my session today is all about communication, we can't ignore an important piece of the customer journey, and that's customer experience. Customer experience in property management is more than just customer service. It's the experience in every single interaction a customer or landlord has with your business, and the impact that you can make in each of those interactions. At Console, we've learned a lot about customer experience from you. In 2019, our Property Management and the Customer Experience Economy survey unveiled that 63% of agencies were driven to keep their customers happy, with 43% of agencies facing challenges to manage those owner expectations. So delivering a customer experience was high on the agenda for many of the agencies that we surveyed. What is clear is that agencies actively pursuing growth should be focusing more on raising their customer experience, and those that are in defend and retain mode really need to step up on delivering a better customer experience. So when I dug a bit further into a pool of anonymised data in the back end of our technology, I was able to identify some key trends leading to customer loyalty and attrition. And there is no doubt that the key reason landlords love their agencies is because of the communication that they provide. In fact, a whopping 56% of agency promoters cited communication with some form of reliability as the reason they love their property management agency. Their reasons extended to their property manager being very responsive, helpful, prompt, providing great service and support, and offering advice. These customers remarked that they were very happy with the feedback they received and that their agencies go above and beyond to make things simple for them. Not to mention the fact that they are well informed with regular updates about their property. And whilst a vast majority of agencies get the importance of communication, it's concerning there are still those that need some encouragement and confidence to do the same. The greatest reason for dissatisfaction with an agency's service was a lack of communication. In fact, 48% of owners gave reasons such as a failure of their agency to respond to their requests, a lack of correspondence, an explanation of issues, taking too long to respond to issues or requests, and getting a runaround with excuses, and mostly never calling back as promised. You see, the greatest problem we have with communication is the assumption that it has taken place. You may think you have provided an adequate level of communication for your clients, but is it what your clients expect? Was it wanted, received, or even understood? While growth is the goal for many property management agencies, the cost of onboarding new clients and advertising their properties and attracting new tenants means that keeping hold of existing listings is incredibly important to keep the doors open and the lights on. Your owners have charged you with the care of their investment property based on your promise to have their interests at heart. So the relationships that you have with your owners will underpin the success of your business and the retention of theirs. And what is the foundation of any relationship? It's trust. And with trust comes a need for respect and communication. I want you to think about your family doctor. How many of you would stay loyal to your doctor if they withheld information about your health? Can you imagine taking a test and waiting to hear back the results of that test and not hearing back for days, weeks, maybe months? And when you do get a response, it's your medical bill in the mail. No insight, no care, no communication. No assurance that your results have come back negative and you're in the clear. How would you feel? Would you stay with them? You would expect your doctor to provide you with well-informed, timely advice in a way that is going to make you feel cared for and supported. As a result, you have confidence in them, you trust them, and you're going to be loyal to them. This really isn't dissimilar to how your owner feels about you. Fortunately, there are plenty of options available to agencies who want to lock in landlord loyalty. So if it's happy customers that you want, it's time to relook at your customer experience and communication strategy to drive more fruitful and profitable relationships. I've got some practical tips to share with you now that you can implement today to make sure changing property managers isn't on the minds of your owners. So what is it that keeps your clients on your books? And do you know exactly what your client sentiment is? There is an old saying, you can't manage what you don't measure. And while we often apply this to business performance, it equally should be applied to your customer experience too. With a measurement in place, your staff will be more motivated and equipped to cultivate a customer-centric culture. If they know how they act and what they do impacts on your clients' retention and growth, they're going to be better equipped to provide a better service. So tip 1, use a measurement tool to identify what your clients think about your customer service experience. Tracking your Net Promoter Score, or NPS, is one tool that you should all be using. And NPS measures the level of your customers' satisfaction and loyalty. High scores mean happy owners, while low scores indicate that your customers might soon be leaving you. And because the buying cycle in property management is much slower than in other industries, low NPS scores don't necessarily spell out doom and gloom. While not ideal, if you act quickly enough, you have the opportunity to reverse that trend and nip churn in the bud. If you aren't using Yardstick, which is an NPS tool that's built into Console Cloud, you really need to. This tool will give you the insights you need to identify the owners feeling the most pain. It's your leading rather than lagging indicator of growth and churn. Yardstick NPS will, more importantly, help you create a benchmark for your agency. So you can identify if your agency's actions and adjusted processes over time have impacted on your clients' perceptions and moved the dial on satisfaction. Yardstick goes one step further. Once your client gives you a score, they're prompted with a follow-up question to ask for the reason that that score was given. And you'll also be able to see exactly which owner responded and the score that they left you and what comments were left. This makes it even easier for you to immediately learn who your happiest and unhappiest customers are. With Yardstick connected to the rest of your office data in Console Cloud, you can see the results of individual owners in other parts of the system too, like the Owners tab. It's accessible, so you can keep those important insights visible and top of mind so you and your team can act on them accordingly. Yardstick is just one small but powerful way to help your business shift gears towards better customer experience, retention, love, and growth. The customer insight you collect means your business can focus on the areas highlighted by your customers that need attention, helping you make better decisions, enabling you to nurture your client relationships and save your landlords before leaving. Tip 2, communicate with a purpose. You may have operational processes and technology in place to do the heavy lifting of your day-to-day owner communications. And if you do, that's great. So you should be turning your precious time to hosting more meaningful conversations with your owners. This means investing in the time to understand what drives each and every one of your owners. And with that, you want to be sharing with them the information that they care about and not spamming them with generic insights that you send to all of your owners. Having quality conversations with your owners is like putting deposits in your relationship bank account to build trust. So every time you reach out directly with them, whether it's by phone, text, email, or even in person, your owners will recognize that your outreach is met with a purpose and they'll take notice. They'll regard this as a valuable interaction and it will boost assurance in you as their property manager. Owners want confidence to make well-informed decisions and they don't want to come across as silly or ignorant. So if you're looking to them to approve a rent increase for their tenants or you're responding to their request to increase rent, give them the reasons why they should or shouldn't take that option As a property manager, you are their advisor. So empower them to make a decision that they're comfortable and confident in. And once you've built a relationship on trust and value, any conversation about increasing fees becomes irrelevant. Tip 3, don't wait for your owners to call. This tip is all about being proactive, and if you're receiving more inbound calls than you're making out, your strategy and culture around customer experience needs some urgent realignment. You see, in this situation, you're effectively leaving the job of communication up to your clients. We want to be more efficient and we want to talk to our customers better. And just because you're using software that is automating a lot of your day-to-day communications doesn't mean you should stand back and wait for your owners to call. In fact, software like Console Cloud gives you the time and the space to create meaningful conversations, not just the transactional ones. Being on the front foot in the relationship and connecting with your owners in a timely manner and personally gives you an opportune time to identify what more you can do for your owners. Use these times to listen and provide additional value-added services to your customers. Perhaps ask them if they have any other properties that you could be managing. Are they looking to invest in a new property? They may also have friends or family or colleagues that need a property management agency, so you need to ask for that referral. My next tip is all about a pathway to self-service. But before I take you there, I want you to have a think about the Domino's Pizza Tracker. Domino's chose to provide a tool for their customers that communicates exactly how long it takes to prepare, cook, and deliver their pizzas. And it was so successful that it gave their customers a sense of control over their orders. Similarly, there's a reason we all love watching the map on our phones to see how far our Uber is away. We like to know what's happening. And much like ordering something on Amazon and tracking your item through their site reduces the amount of contact you have to make with that company, because they are supplying you with droplets of information that keep you informed and reduce the amount of inbound calls to their business. This accessibility is called transparency, and it is a form of communication. Communicating transparently is intentional. People who communicate honestly, openly, and authentically are more credible, more often heard, and considered more trustworthy. And as I mentioned to you before, without trust, relationships can't grow. So like Domino's and the Uber model, you can provide 24/7 access to what's going on with the properties that you manage. Providing this transparency is available to your owners through Console Cloud, which brings me to tip 4, use the owner portal. Inviting your owners to the portal will give them the added confidence in you, full transparency, and adding value to your relationship at no extra cost. Intentionally keeping them up to date with their property position, tenancy information, financial position, pay to dates, clear access to statements, and details of maintenance inspections. It's all there for them. And finally, I want to turn your attention to customer advocacy. With a pool of happy customers in your portfolio, what more can you be doing to leverage that sentiment? And if you're using Yardstick in Console Cloud, you've got the ability to identify when your owners are at their happiest, and that is the perfect time to ask for a referral. Let these happy customers be a voice of recommendation for you. In an industry where your reputation can make or break you in your local area, you need to start thinking about using your promoters to drive a solid advocacy campaign. And this won't cost you the world, but will help you drive business that trusts you from the start. And here's my final tip, tip number 5. Use Google reviews as part of your customer advocacy and marketing campaign. 70% of online searches are still happening through Google, and you'd be surprised at the number of agencies that aren't employing Google reviews as part of their marketing strategy, which is free. Try searching in Google for property management in your local area. You may get a number of results in the business listings, but how many of them are actually attached with a Google review? And how recent are those reviews? Asking for Google reviews is really quite simple. Ask your promoters or those owners that you have delighted, or even tenants for that matter. This should be a regular part of your weekly, fortnightly, or monthly routine. Your Google reviews also help with your SEO and visibility in search, with Google favouring those businesses with high activity, boosting them towards the top of the list. This not only improves your visibility in search, but improves click-throughs to your website. but you have to keep your reviews current. More importantly, reviews are an indicator to others of a first-hand opinion of you. Do they trust you? Do they value your business and service? And would they recommend you? So in wrapping up, we know communication is a key to keeping your customers happy and connected with you. If you feel your current strategy needs a little bit of work, take some of this advice and give it a go. Measure your owner satisfaction through Yardstick NPS, communicate with a purpose and proactively, and use the owner portal. Craft a customer advocacy strategy which incorporates Google reviews. These are all simple yet effective ways to ensure your owners feel valued and love the work that you do. Perhaps you're already proactively managing owners in ways that we haven't talked about here today. If this is you, please share your insights in the comments, and I'll make sure to share them in the coming weeks. Thanks very much for your time. I'm Natasha Anich. I hope you enjoy the rest of Nebula.